guys doing? Hope you guys are doing good. I'm pretty much excited for today. Unfortunately, my phone fell off. Hope you guys are doing good. So, welcome to my channel. My name is Aura, like I said last episode. So, I am gonna be talking today about the 5 things I wish I knew when I started fashion photography or photography in general. And this 5 things applies to every aspect of photography. It can be landscape, it can be fashion, it can be portrait, it can be wedding, it can be babies, it can be animals. Applies to different aspects of photography. So it's not just one nicest kind of content. No. So the first thing I'm gonna say that I knew when I started was don't look for the perfect gear. So I know it's like a broad topic. Like I remember when I started, I was a big fanatics of tech, cameras itself, cameras, lights, memory, even to memory cards, like system. I remember I was looking up the top latest MacBook Pro. I was looking at the top latest camera. I remember at the time when I started with a Nikon D5300, and I was like, damn, this camera is not the best. But I never really understood what you can do with what you have until like later on progressing. So one advice I wish I knew when I started was don't look for the perfect gear. Don't try and get the EOS RP. Don't try and get the EOS R. Don't try and get the EOS 5D Mark IV. Like having those top gear helps, but you need to understand and need to have the skill in order for you to be able to use those camera well to the fullest potential. Like even right now, you can start taking pictures with an iPhone. Like I've done contests like that. I've taken videos with just my iPhone before, but it's because I have the skill. So you need to forget about the gear, forget about like getting the top latest one. It's good, it helps, it makes the job easier, but don't dwell on it too much. The second one is shoot and try out every aspect of photography you can get your hands on. So why do I say this? I apply this in my personal life. So try every different genres of photography. Try portrait, try weddings, try babies, try animals, try landscapes, try streets, try urban, try every single one. Because doing that, 1, you grow your skills. 2, you have a good understanding of different situations. And 3, you find your niche. And that is a big thing. Because when you find your niche, over time you build a style. And having a style is good. You know what you like, you know what you're going for. And the only way you can really achieve it is trying out different stuff. Like, if it wasn't that I tried fashion, or if it wasn't that I tried beauty, I wouldn't be doing it right now. Because I know I did weddings. I'm not a big fan of weddings. It's good money, but I'm not a big fan of it because I know the stress and the struggle of doing wedding. Animal pictures. I'm not a big. I love animals. I love dogs. I love cats. But I'm not a big fan of it. Seeing the picture is good, but I just don't enjoy shooting it. So shooting fashion and beauty is what I really like doing. And the only way I actually came across it is by trying every aspect of photography. The third one is using resources like YouTube to learn. So channels like this, channels like Prince Mason, the different channels out there, it's a good way for you to learn how to actually like develop your skills, tone your skills. That's one thing I'm glad that I did personally, in the sense of I was touching videos, watching lights, watching like studying to understand my camera. So using resources like YouTube. YouTube is free. It takes you nothing. Oh, by the way, subscribe to the channel. Like I really appreciate it. Drop a like, drop a comment. I really appreciate it so much. But like contents like on YouTube helps you learn. And like there's so much. Like you can type top 5 lights setup to use for beauty. There's so much. You can type top 2 for weddings, top 2 for anything when it comes to photography. You can type EOS R breakdown. You will find it. There's literally content for everything. Most of the stuff for YouTube, most of the stuff for photography. There's a lot out there. So use the resources you have to get the skills, to get what you want. So what do I mean by that? I remember when I started taking pictures, a friend of mine told me this, which is use what you have to get what you want. Like use YouTube to learn the skills you want. If you want to understand, like use YouTube. Like it's out there. There's a lot of channels out there you can support. So I do advise, and I'm glad I actually did this personally, is use YouTube to the fullest potential, and it's free. So yeah. The fourth thing that I wish I knew earlier is don't overcomplicate things. I know when you start taking pictures, there's a little pressure to it. So you want to make sure it's the perfect composition. You want to make sure it's the right light, the light makeup. So my advice is, especially when it comes to shooting, editing, and light, don't overcomplicate it. Most of the time, you can do a lot with one light. I've taken a bunch of different pictures with just one light, and having a good understanding of how one light works, you can apply it and build up to it. Like, don't try when you're just starting out. Don't try and use 5 different light setup when you don't really understand how one works, because doing that is complicating yourself. Same thing with editing. When you're doing retouching, don't try and be doing crazy frequency separation or crazy, what's it called, dodge and burn, if you don't really understand how it works. So never try to overcomplicate situations. Always try and go for the easiest route first, and then build up your skill. Because if you don't get to that level to do it, how are you gonna do it? So don't overcomplicate stuff. That's one thing I'm really glad that I learned pretty early. So my last one, this kind of applies a little bit more towards. I actually have two more advice actually. So the fifth one is applies a little bit more towards fashion and portraits. Kind of applies to every aspect also, but which is learn and understand light. So I'll go with the studio photographers. So if you're into like doing studio pictures, like you have to learn it. You need to understand it. I remember my first picture that I took in the studio wasn't the best. Reason being, I didn't understand how it actually works. But being consistent and being shooting, I picked up the skill and I understood it. So my advice is learn and understand light. Understand how main light works. Understand how fill, key, like key is the same as main, but a background light, side light. Understand how it works. Understand how natural light works. How to manipulate the sun to get the pictures you want. Understand how using reflectors, screen. There's a lot out there. Understand how it works, because that can help you achieve the results you want. And then my last one will probably be consistency and shooting as much as you can. Never hesitate to take pictures. Never stop taking pictures, because you can learn so much, but you would never actually improve if you don't take pictures. And this applies to video too. If you're into cinematography and you take like videos and stuff, the only way you can improve in any craft you're doing, and it applies to life too, the only way you can improve in anything you're doing is being consistent. And it's just being consistent in often on schedule, like being disciplined about it, and keep grinding and keep doing it, keep like practicing shooting, editing. If you want to be an editor, keep editing beauties, like edit what you really want to do, be it wedding, being animals, being cars, edit it, try it out, just keep doing it, just keep doing it. Whatever you learn on YouTube or wherever is your favorite platform to learn stuff from, apply it, because when you apply it, you're going to make mistakes, and when you make mistakes, that's how you learn. So in order for you to learn and make mistake, you gotta apply. So application and staying consistent is the biggest. That's like the biggest one out of all the 6 things that I wish I knew, is being consistent. Consistency is really big. If you can stay consistent to whatever you're doing, you can grow so much. So yeah, those are probably, like I said, I gave more than 5. I gave 6, but those are the 6 things that I kind of knew and wish I knew before I started photography. Anyways, this is the second episode. I'm still getting used to the YouTube stuff, so really hope you guys, at least one person out there, can find one of this useful in whatever they're doing. It doesn't have to be just photography. It can be life in general. So I really hope one person out there found this very useful. Hope you guys like the content. Getting a little bit used to it takes a lot of time, but it's the biggest fear of a photographer is standing in front of your own lens. So yeah, hope you guys like the content. I will be back on Friday, hopefully, and I will see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.